Hello and welcome back. So what I'm doing today is I put on the rear brake line with a fresh new bolt in there, and I already made these brake lines before because I had the brakes working before I took it all apart. So today I'm putting these brackets on with new bolts here onto this mount. So let me show you on the other side. Here's the finished product, so I'll show you on the other side how to put it together. Alright, so here are the pieces and parts. Got a little brackets, little bushing, and bolts, nuts. I used 28 quarter-inch bolts, a fine thread. I think they're 3/4 inch long to put them on or whatever. So these bushings here, let me show you here. These are actually split down here. So you could take it, put them on, put one on the other side. There you go. Then these things being BritPart, and you know BritParts are. So this hole was actually, I don't know, maybe a number 8 bolt that goes through, a number 8 screw. So it wasn't big enough for the 1/4 inch bolt to go through. So I just used my step drill and drilled them right through or whatever, so then I could put my 1/4 inch bolt there. So you just take these, spread them open, put over top of the bushing, like that. This one goes over on the other side. And what it does, it just sandwiches it together like that. Put a bolt washer through this side, put it together. There you go. Kind of lines up a little bit. Then you just use one of the holes in this bracket to line it all up. Okay, so you get the gist of that. So that's what I'm going to do there. And whenever I bought this truck, this plate, which I got from YRM out of all my other replacement panels, the truck didn't even have these plates here, so the brake line actually just went along here and went over. So I think, or maybe it was on the inside, it wasn't even towards the back of it. So this plate here is the check strap that goes down underneath. It's a safety thing so it doesn't hit your check strap for your axle, so it doesn't go down too far, doesn't get hung up on it or break the brake lines. Alrighty, I'm gonna bolt this up. I'll be back. Alright, here we are. They're now mounted up, the brake lines. And as I was here, I noticed I forgot to install the axle breather. So I put the axle breather on. So the next thing I'm gonna do is hook up the brake line, the rubber brake line, from there to there. Alrighty. Alright, so here we are down underneath the truck. So here's the brake. The rubber brake line, it comes over, it goes up to this bracket, and then this pipe, I think I made it too long, so I'm going to cut it off and make it flow a little bit nicer. So I made it way too long while I was out in my driveway when I was working on it. So now I'm in the garage, I can kind of clean that up and make it a little nicer. So one question I get a lot, or I don't get a lot, but with parabolic springs, people always ask the questions, do I need to replace my stock rubber lines? So far, it has a lot of slack to it, and the truck's sitting on stands, so it's holding its weight right now, and it has some slack in there, some pretty good slack to move around. So my next test to see if this is going to be a problem with the springs is I'm going to actually jack up the back of the truck, and I have some other work I have to do too while I jack up the back. So that'll be the next test. The first test already, it looks good. I don't see any problems with it as it is. So let's see what happens. Alrighty, so I got the back of the truck jacked up, and the hangers are just hanging straight down. It's just hanging on its own now, the axle by the springs. And you can see here, still lots of slack in there. So I don't know why people say that or whatever, but it looks like it should work just fine but I'll keep an eye on it while I'm actually driving. So, all right, so that's good. Brake line's good. So back here, the bolts, they're the ones I bought from Paddock Spares, and not saying anything about them or whatever or anything, but the bolts have a longer, you know, the shank of it, and then the threads on the end. So I need to, what I did is I put washers up here. Some lock washers weren't really that great, so I actually bought some 9/16 washers to put on this side for spacers. So I'm going to pull the bolt out, take that washer off, and replace it over there. I'll show you in a minute. Alright, so I got the shackle, the rear shackle off here. And then you can see here, I have these spaced the same width of the bushing in there, and the bushing up in the body as well, the frame as well. So they're about the same position. So if you take the bolt head and you put it here, flat up against this one, you can see it starts bottoming out because this is threaded on this side. So it starts bottoming out and I can't quite get it totally tight. So I had these washers in there, and they were spring washers and lock washers. They're not all that great. So I'm thinking if I put 3 or 4 of these spacers in there, it should give me enough spacing so I can get threads to tighten this down the whole way. So it'll pinch the bushing in here and pinch the bushing in here. Okay, so I'm going to try out some washers. I don't know if I'll do 3 or 4, but we shall see. All right, bye-bye. All right, so I did a test fit with 4. Looks like 4 washers. Get you nice and tight in there and snug. So it should be good with 4. All righty. Okay, so I got the shackles back in. The top and the bottom one. I put 4 washers, like I said, on there. Then go on to the other side. I got the other side done. So I'm happy with that. So the next thing is I'm going to move on to shocks. So I bought some Bearmach shocks here. Those go in right there to up there. All right, I'm gonna put those in next. All right, so I put the Bearmach shock on, and it's resting right now on jack stands. It's resting as normal height, and the shock is actually maxed out. It's at its max length, so there's actually no movement in the shock right now in the axle, because I sun jacked up the back end and I watched the shock and it didn't even move. So and I took the other side off to see, and it's maxed out. It's completely maxed. So these shocks here, which are part number, let's see, 1401 BM or whatever. So they're way too short to be used with parabolic springs, at least with the 4 leaves, because it's up pretty high. I think it raised the back end probably about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, the whole truck itself, along with the front too. So I got Bearmach ones for the front too. So when I do the front, I have to test and see what fits up there too. So I'm gonna take some measurements here and see if I could find a different shock for the rear. So I got the shock off on both sides, and I measured from the center of this to the flat right here, from there to the center, and then I figure I'm going to buy new ones for back here. I might as well make sure I have the right ones for the front as well. So I measured those ones too. So front shocks, center to center, or as it resting statically just on there. Everything's just sitting on the springs right now with the jack stands. So the front is 16 5/8 from center to center of the eyelets. There's actually eyelets on the top and the bottom of the front shocks, and they fit on a 3/4 inch diameter rod on both ends. So I'm saying is this, where the bushing sits right here, is 3/4 inch. So on the front ones, it's the same for the top and the bottom. So that's there. The rear, I went from the center of that rod to the flat part, which is this right here, this flat, from there up to the center of that. And we're at 18.5 inches. Again, it's sitting on a 3/4 inch rod with a 3/4 hole. So I've been searching on the internet so far, and I found some Monroe shocks that would work on the front, but I can't find a shock that fits on the back because they all seem to have center to center, which is round bushings on both ends, but to have the bushing, round bushing on the top, and then a rod stud for mounting into a hole is the hard part to find or whatever so far. So I emailed a company and asked them, hey, do you have these type of shocks for this and this or whatever? I said I've sent them both, so we'll see if we get a reply back with those and see what happens. Okay, so shock dilemma is going to take a little bit longer, so I'm going to put the bump stops on now, and I might do the back ones and the front ones all together or whatever and get all 4 of them done in one shot. Alrighty. Alright, so we're back, and I put the bump stops on. I put them on all 4 corners, all back and the front as well. So while I was back here, I didn't film this, but I'm telling you now that I made check straps for the rear axle, and that explains why this plate's here as well for brake line. See, it holds it and it keeps it away from the check strap. So I ordered the correct in quotes check strap. So I put it on, and it's too short because of these springs, since it raised it up. So years ago, I found a come along in the middle of the road on my way home from out just going for a drive or whatever in one of the old cars, and I was like, hey, wait a second, there's a ratchet strap in the middle of the road. So I went back and I picked it up, and that was, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago. So I hacked off pieces of that, and that's what I used for the check strap. And I think it gives it a good look, especially with that red line in the middle. Very nice vintage look to it. So what I did was I bolt the inside one in, and then I draped it around. I jacked up the back end, and I let the shocks kind of I let it sag all the way down. Then I pulled it real tight up here, and I pulled it tight until it was up above this point. So then I marked it with a marker, and then I took it off, and I lowered it back onto the jack stands, and then I cut it off with this stuff's actually really, really thick. When you go to cut this kind of material, it's like double layered, triple layered, and all interwound in itself. Like a razor blade won't even go through this. So I had to use a Dremel, and as I went through, I went slowly with the Dremel, and it actually melted the end as I was doing it, so it wouldn't fray on the end. So then, since I let it be a little bit longer on top, and then I placed this on here, marked it with 2 Sharpies here with a line, with a dot, and I took the Dremel and cut an X in there, cut an X right here, and then I bolted it up, and then I jacked it up again. But since I actually moved this up a little bit more than what actually was whenever I pulled it snug, it rests down and pulls on it, and it does an excellent job. So I made one for this side. If you could see through the light, I made one for the other side as well. So instead of buying a check strap, you can always make your own check strap, which I think that turned out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. So check straps in, there's all the other stuff. This video had tons of stuff in it, so this will be the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you learned a couple of tips and tricks, and in the future future video we'll talk about the shocks some more, and hopefully I'll get an answer on that. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks a lot for watching. You guys are great. Have a good one. Bye-bye.